Yo, 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 black people of the United States of America. I'm making a pretty major announcement. This is part of my dream empire, and this is one of the planks of what I want to do in my life. I'm trying to acquire the name, corporate image, corporate assets, intellectual property of the National Negro Business League. I will not be changing the name. If you are Black American and own a business or are seriously interested in owning a business, meaning that you're an entrepreneur or a wannabe entrepreneur and want to know about finance, economics, taxations, and how to open, start, and successfully run a black-owned business, please leave a comment below. Also, spread this video on your Facebook page, Twitter account, Google Plus account, other social media online, anything you can, or even email your friends and family whom you would think would be serious about being a part of this corporation and group. The very first thing that I will be doing after acquiring the group and any leftover assets of the corporation will be a national membership drive of black-owned businesses, black entrepreneurs, black wannabe entrepreneurs, and retired black businessmen. So if you're a part of, if you qualify in any of those specific groups, please leave a brief comment below giving your information and how to contact you in some shape, form, or fashion. I'm not saying leave your telephone number or anything like that. That would not be safe, and I'm not going to suggest you do anything that breaches your privacy. But if you want, leave your any online account number, and make sure you spread this video to anybody black that you would know, who, you know, a serious black person. I'm not talking about hood rats and rappers or anything like that. I do not think that this group would help any rappers. Maybe a successful singer who wants to branch out into owning a business other than singing, or branch out into owning a business other than basketball, football, or something like that. Yes, those people are fine. If you have money, that's fine, and you want to be a part of the group and you want to get into owning a black-owned business, and this will be nationwide, so make sure that, don't think that because you're in some small town or in some other state that you can't be a part of it. I'm going to try and open chapters in each major city, and then after the major cities, the more smaller cities as well, so we can have national coverage and be able to assist black-owned businesses or potential black-owned businesses and running successful black-owned businesses. Alright, thank you. Be sure to leave your information down below and share this video. Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show. This is a postscript to the main section of this video. I briefly mentioned that I will not be changing the name. The name was actually changed from the National Negro Business League to the National League. I want to go back to the original name, which was the National Negro Business League, because of the very thing that happened to all of the subsets of the National Negro Business League. There was the National Negro Publishers Association, the National Negro Banking Association, the National Negro Newspaper Association, the National Negro Baseball, National Negro, any type of business that we had at the time, which was named National Negro, was renamed National. So National Business Association, National newspaper, national, and where do you think, what do you think that spelled for the American Negro after those changes? It spelled that the Negroes would be completely kicked out of their own corporations and their own associations, to the point where today you have absolutely no participation by black folk in any of these associations on any level of any importance, meaning there are no intermediate managers, officer holders, members of the boards, presidents, or anything like that in any of these associations. That means that with quote-unquote multiculturalism, that white people completely took over and swept clean all of those associations. I will be reviving and trying to acquire all of the assets from all of those former National Negro associations of every kind. That means if it was a National Negro baseball, football, basketball association as well, I will try and acquire those associations also. Larry Johnson suggested that we might have a all-black National Basketball Association, and people called him racist and all sorts of dirty names, when in fact we did have that, and we were the CEOs, members of the boards, officers of those associations, and we were completely swept out of it, to the point where today black people have absolutely no positions in any of those organizations and do not receive the lion's share of the money, which is actually made on the backs of a majority of the black people who are the mules of those associations. So it does not stand to reason that they're racist if white people do it, but not racist if white people do it, but racist if black people do it. We're talking about having ownership. It's all about ownership, ownership, ownership. And I'm trying to acquire all of the intellectual property of all of the subsets of these associations and bring them back to black hands, black controls, black members of the boards, black presidents, and black officers, so that we will retain in our community the wealth. I know there's a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people nationally who talk about retaining wealth in the black community, such that the black community's troubles would vanish overnight if we did. But there's a lot of talk and a lot of people who actually don't own businesses. They just go to the meetings and say amen and clap and cheer, but they actually don't own any businesses, nor do they take the time to, even in their off time, in their downtime after work, to do any more further study or research to one day open their own business. With this associate with acquiring the intellectual property and all of the assets of these corporations, I hope to be able to give that information out pretty much free of charge, and to instill or reinstill, because this was a part of Black American history that has been completely erased, reinstill and reinvigorate the black community to owning their own businesses and retaining wealth in their communities to such a degree that there will not be black poverty, black unemployment to the tune of 10 times of what all other groups have. Yes, black unemployment is 5 to 10 times what white unemployment is, and white people don't even understand that. With reinvigorating the black community to own and retain wealth within the black community, we will not be having our handout at the poorest levels to the federal government and destroying the black families. Black husband and wives can get back together and be proud to raise a black family. Right now, that is all but destroyed, in the lower levels of our community. Thank you once again for watching the Shakaama Live Show.